My name is Josephine Cruz Rivera. I was born October 25, 1969. I was born in the Philippines, Binyan, Laguna. With probably all the reason of why Filipinos going to different country, because it's a better life. The way we're living in the Philippines, they cannot, or I cannot say that it's okay. And my dad, came here because of my brother. My oldest brother petitioned him, and my dad petitioned everyone, including my siblings who's already married with children. Because back in the 80s, it was just easy. I can tell you when I was in the Philippines, so my mom, he didn't, she did not go to school, so she ended up like washing clothes for, people's clothes for money. This is when my dad was struggling as well. Here in San Francisco or in California, my stepmom, who I love dearly, she's a home mom, and my dad works as a security guard at Tiffany store, jewelry store. But back in the Philippines, he used to be a police officer. I have two half sister and one half brother, and then your uncle Edwin. So four. From my father's side, I have eight half siblings. Growing up in San Francisco, I just like remember going to school. They sent me to Mission High for 2 years just to get the credit. Growing up here, I can only remember going out with my friends from school. Majority of them, of course, are Filipinos because we speak the same language. I was like really not afraid, but mostly like shy, because to kind of like talk to other nationalities because of my English back in the day. Mostly we go to the park across the street, which is Dolores Park. Sometimes we go to cafe. Sometimes we go to Thrifty, the secondhand store, because that's the only kind of like clothing that we can afford back then. And me personally, because I don't like to kind of like ask money from my dad. And sometimes we go clubbing on the weekends. I One Up, that's the only kind of like club that I kind of like remember going to, but there are like numerous club that I went to when I was young. Back in the 80s when I came here, it was not like this, like pack. Like wherever you go, there's like so many people, you know. Back then, it was like really, really quiet, and when you and not smelly. The San Francisco really pretty and looking pretty and smell pretty. Okay. Although back then there's not a lot of high-rise building, and you will see, like say for example on 6th Street, not too far from where we live, you will see like really ugly houses, like rundown houses, but still looking nice compared now, for my opinion. Okay. And the reason why I said that is this high-rise building and pretty much pretty apartment, the exchange of that becoming so expensive here in San Francisco. The cost of living now in San Francisco is too damn high compared back then. I mean, I like changes, but why we have to pay so much or a big price for changes that people that live in a city. We want to have a better city. We want to have all this luxury or all this store that we can just enjoy, but why do we need to pay the price of having all those things?
Why do the people, like the
Why the people
working class people,
yes, and why do we need to be pushed out of San Francisco or pay to move out. And what they're gonna do? Because finding place in San Francisco, it's so expensive. So the first thing that they will do is get that money and run out of San Francisco. Why is that? You know.
Yeah.
So I started working as in McDonald's at Stanyan when I was in high school, just to like support my mom, because I promised my dad that when I reach that age that he's gonna stop sending money to the Philippines, I will do that part for him. And after that, I of course I'm not gonna after high school, I'm not just gonna be stuck in a minimum wage. So I applied for this job in one of the convalescent home in the area, Stanyan area. I totally forgot the exact address now, but I used to be an assistant dietitian, and then after that, I met a friend, and she's working in a Marriott company in the restaurant that called City Eats, owned by Marriott. So I apply over there. They hired me, and I was doing pantry. After that, the Marriott Marquis on 4th Street, the big hotel on 4th Street opened, and I talked to my general manager if he can transfer me to that hotel. And he goes, no, the only opening right now in the hotel is housekeeping. So finally, they transfer me. Cleaning 17 rooms a day is not a joke. With supervisor always at your back, watching over you, watching every minute, and see if you are going to mess up. In regards to how I started with the union, exactly like that. Because you're doing your job and you're like being harassed by your superior or your supervisor. At one point, I confronted one of my manager along with the person that was like complaining. My manager even told me, if you do not like the job, the door is open. You can always, get out. Mhm. And I refused to have that answer from supposed to be my leader in the hotel. So one day, one of the organizer from local 2 from Unite here local 2 approached me. So I would like go to their meetings, help them to like talk to other people, um, and that and started over there because I saw the mistreatment, I saw the injustice, I saw just because we're a room cleaner that we need to be treated less than the other department. And I don't think that's right. I've been in the country, I grew up in a country to where um, if you are not rich, if you are less fortunate, that's it for you. Even though you have the brain, even though you have the eager to better your life, you're stuck there because there's no support from the government, from the family sometimes. I grew up in a country to where you do not have a voice. So when I came to the United States, I'm actually have a voice, and I'm actually have the right to protect my rights. My goal is to bring the union in, regardless, even though it will cost my job. Because organizing a hotel, that means that we do not have a union, that they can terminate me anytime they want, regardless if there's a reason or there's no reason. If they don't like me for whatever reason, they can always terminate me. I was not afraid at that time because I was telling myself that I was like still young. that I can find another job, if that even the case, bringing the union into that place.
So, so what you're saying, back then when you were working there was no union
There
there?
was no union when they opened. And after like few years, I remember helping the union when I was pregnant, when I start helping them, and I think my son turned 8 years old when we first got the first contract. So I'm hoping that all these things that I have said, that you learn something from my experience. And I just wanted to kind of like remind you again, the listeners. This is our country, this is our place, we have a voice in our place. Okay? Vote wisely. Pick the leader that really can provide for you, not take away from you. Because we voted for them to put in that position to help grow this city, okay? To help the country, if it's like president or whatever, right? We should not be selfish. I mean, vote for the person that will help majority of the people, not just what you want. You know what I mean? All right.
Okay.
I think that's enough, Jessica.
Okay, thanks, Mom.
You're welcome.
You're great.